What are the top 10 deadliest cards in Exploding Kittens? I'll be giving you my answer right here in this video. This list omits the Exploding Kitten card, the Imploding Kitten card, and the Devil Cat card. Let's jump into my top 10 picks. Number 10, the Armageddon card from Good vs. Evil. This card triggers an Armageddon event. Once played, the player must take the God Cat card and the Devil Cat card and shuffle them together. The player will then place one card in front of them and the other card in front of any player of their choice. The opposing player then gets to decide which person gets what card. One player will win the God Cat card while the other player will explode at the hands of the Devil Cat card unless they're able to defuse it. A unique card in that it triggers a separate event in the game, the Armageddon card quickly became known for putting everyone on the edge of their seats. Once played, it guarantees that one player will reign victorious while another player will be doomed to face the wrath of the Devil Cat. However, despite that exciting function, it also serves as a card's greatest weakness. Anyone that chooses to play this risky card must understand that they have a 50% chance of success. If you're the betting type, this might sound like fun, but for most players, this makes the Armageddon card one scary card to play. That said, it still serves as one of the deadliest cards in the series. Number 9, the Barking Kitten cards from Barking Kittens. Take this card, place it face up in front of you, and ask if any other player at the table has it. If they do, that player must play a diffuse card from their hand. If they don't have a diffuse card, they explode instantly. If no one at the table has the other Barking Kitten, leave the card face up in front of you. This card is no longer a part of your hand and must remain on the table for the rest of the game. If someone else plays the other Barking Kitten card, you become their target and must play a diffuse card to avoid detonation. If by some miracle you end up with both Barking Kittens in your hand, even if you have one on the table and the other in your hand, play both cards together and target a player of your choice. It's still your turn after playing this card, and like all kitten cards, the Barking Kittens cannot be noped. A deadly pair of cards with a confusing history, the Barking Kittens have undergone some significant changes over the years. While the gameplay for these cards has remained generally the same, the Barking Kittens used to enable a player to steal half of another player's hand. Today, they take on the function of a full-blown Exploding Kitten. Few cards allow you to assault another player with an Exploding Kitten, which is why the Barking Kittens more than deserve a spot on this list. Yet despite this deadly ability, these cards also come with a huge risk factor. If you play your Barking Kitten too soon, you risk being blown up later in the game. If someone else plays it before you do, you've waited too long. This makes the Barking Kittens a difficult pair of cards to play with, even if they do deal some serious damage. Number 8, the Atomic Bomb card from Streaking Kittens. Collect all of the Exploding Kitten cards from the deck and place them on top of the draw pile. The rest of the cards are then shuffled and placed beneath the Exploding Kitten cards. After this, skip your turn. One of the best guilty pleasure cards in the game, the Atomic Bomb is a great way to get everyone's attention at the table. While it can be thwarted by a handful of other cards, such as the shuffle card and the draw from the bottom card, this card still succeeds in bringing the terror to game nights, especially if you wait to play it towards the end of the game when everyone's used up their defensive cards. Number 7, the Alter the Future ×5 card from Streaking Kittens. Look at the top 5 cards in the draw pile and arrange them in any order you'd like. While some might not consider it to be very deadly, this card allows you to manipulate the cards for 5 total draws. Not only can this card be used to rake up some valuable cards for yourself, but it can also be used to set up other players for mass destruction. Sure, a few cards might stand in the way of this card's plotting, but there's no doubt that the Alter the Future ×5 card brings chaos to the battlefield. Number 6, the God Cat card from Good vs. Evil. This card can be played as any card in the game other than a nope card. However, it must be won during the Armageddon event and cannot be drawn from the draw pile. Possessing the scary ability to become nearly any card in the game, the God Cat card is a threat to everyone at the table. Fans had been waiting for a long time for a card like this one, making its entry into the series that much more exciting. That said, it's not exactly the deadliest card of them all. This is due in large part to the fact that it can only become any playable card in your deck, meaning that if you don't have a Curse of the Catbutt card in your set, it cannot become that card. This limits the God Cat card to becoming whatever you have on hand. If you're playing with every base game and expansion pack that exists, it becomes a major threat. However, if you're playing with a limited set, it's only as good as your best card. This makes the God Cat card a difficult one to rank here because its potential is at the mercy of whatever deck it's played with. As well, it should also be mentioned that it cannot become the nope card, which is a bit of a bummer. However, despite these drawbacks, the God Cat card more than earns its place on this list, proving how formidable this card still manages to be. Number 5, the Nope card from the base game. This card can cancel nearly any action in the game, even if it's not your turn. You can also cancel someone else's nope, resulting in what I call a nope battle. However, you cannot cancel a diffuse card or any kind of kitten card. A card that's managed to hold its own even after several base games and expansions, the nope card is a brutal force to be reckoned with in any given situation. While there might be a few cards that it can't mess with, the nope card can cause chaos during the most crucial points in the game. What also makes this card stand out is its ability to be played even when it's not that player's turn. This makes the nope card a standout out in its field and a threat to anyone at the table. Plus, nope battles are just plain fun. Number 4, the targeted attack card from Imploding Kittens. Skip your turn and force the player of your choosing to play 2 whole turns. Play then continues from that player on. This attack card is stackable with other attack cards. Right off the bat, what makes the targeted attack card so unique is its ability to not only attack a player of your choosing, which is already a flex, but to also skip any number of players at the table. There's currently no other card in the game that can do this, which makes the targeted attack that much more impressive. When it comes to disturbing the peace, there's few cards that can do it quite like this one. Number 3, the Streaking Kitten card from Streaking Kittens. So long as this card remains within your possession, you're able to hold an Exploding Kitten card in your hand. While this card is often used for self-preservation, the Streaking Kitten has a deadly trick up its sleeve. Once you come into possession of an Exploding Kitten, you can plant it on another player if they use a favor card against you, in which case that player must defuse the Exploding Kitten card immediately. The Exploding Kitten card can also be stolen by another player or returned to the deck, such as would be the case with the Garbage Collection card. Now, it's worth mentioning that if at any point someone steals a Streaking Kitten card from you while you're holding an Exploding Kitten, you must defuse it right away. But even with that in mind, the Streaking Kitten proves itself to be one of the most lethal cards in the game. Number 2, the Curse of the Catbutt card from Streaking Kittens. Select a player of your choosing. That player must shuffle their hand and lay it face down on the table. They're not allowed to look at any of their cards until they've drawn a card during their turn. They can blindly play cards from the top of their deck, but any cards that have an unusable ability must be discarded. If you play this card on an opponent and they draw an Exploding Kitten card, that card does not count as a draw. This means that they must blindly draw from their hand one card at a time until they've successfully drawn a diffuse card. Any card drawn that wasn't a diffuse card is instantly discarded. If they don't have a diffuse card to begin with, they explode with not even a single card to their name. When it comes to utterly hazing your friends, there's few cards that compare to the savagery and fury of the Catbutt card. While the victim isn't guaranteed to draw an Exploding Kitten while under the curse, it's the principle of the card that's the worst. It becomes particularly deadly in the last moments of the game when someone's chances of drawing an Exploding Kitten are much higher. If you're looking for one of Exploding Kitten's deadliest cards that could also set your friendships ablaze, this one's a surefire bet. Before I reveal my number 1 pick, I'd like to recognize one particular card that deserves some praise, and that's the attack card from the base game. Skip your turn and force the next player to play 2 whole turns. This attack card is stackable with other attack cards. Known as the original offensive maneuver, the attack card has a special place in the hearts of most fans. This card had everyone reaching for their skips, nopes, and diffuses more than any other card, save for the Exploding Kitten itself. While by no means the most powerful attack card in the game these days, every other version owes their success to this original creation. Thank you, attack card, for all the chaos you've caused over the years. Number 1, the Attack of the Dead card from Zombie Kittens. Skip your turn and force the next player to play 3 whole turns per each dead player. This attack card is stackable with other attack cards. If you're looking for a card that's the definition of complete brutality, you need look no further than the Attack of the Dead card. With just this one card, you could send someone's turn count into the double digits. Granted, the card is only useful once players begin to explode, but play your cards right, and this particular card becomes a messenger of death to an unsuspecting player. When it comes to deadly cards, there's not a single one that compares to the vicious Attack of the Dead card. But remember, all attack cards are stackable, so make sure this Grim Reaper of a card doesn't find its way back to you. Which card do you think is the deadliest of them all? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. Take care, and I'll see you around.